Hi guys, it's Lynn here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Now today guys, I'm back in the Polytunnel and I'm going to be carrying on with the rearranging of a lot of the plants here in the Polytunnel. I've been doing this over the past couple of weeks and sharing a load of sort of video type of vlogs of before and afters of watering the plants and rearranging a lot of the new, they've got a couple of stands, new plant stands there, and I've been rearranging a lot of the succulents and other plants all on there. And as you can see, all these bare trays, lots more room I've been making, so that's brilliant. Tidied up all the pots underneath. Now what I'm going to be doing today is I've got this plant stand here, this plastic plant stand, and it's a bit all over the place. It's got some of the seedlings on. I've just put them on there for now. Bit of a mess here, as you can see, plants that need a good pruning and everything. And this, I'm going to be moving this plastic plant stand then onto this side, clearing it away and making more room there. And then this is mostly, well, I think it is all cacti on here, on this side of the Polytunnel. And I'm going to be rearranging them to make more room, because we've got plants to come out from the house in the next couple of weeks or so, definitely by hopefully by May. And there is a lot of space on the table already because we've made a lot of extra space, but it's more a case of tidying up and making it look a bit more aesthetically pleasing. And then once everything's sort of all tidied up, then I'm going to be going through a lot of the plants during the spring and summer and changing the soil on a lot of them and also repotting any that need it. So that's what I'm going to be doing today, is this plastic plant stand and rearranging the cacti on here. And what we're going to be doing, Hans got a great big long sort of plank of wood that we're going to be putting on the back of the Polytunnel and supporting it with a few plant pots turned over. So it's going to act as a little bit of a shelf. So it means going to be bit more room again. So that's what we're thinking of doing. These sort of plants here might pretty much stay where they are because these are quite tidied enough as it is. Mainly sort of this table here that we're going to be focusing on. So that's it. And then now I'm going to start emptying the plastic plant stand and show you what it looks like once I've done it. Now there you go guys, that's the black plant stand. I've given it all a clean, turned it round. I've actually put the extra shelf up as well on there because I've turned it the other way around. It gives more height. And what Hansi has done here, he's done a wonderful job. He's tied some of the little plant ties that you get onto this, so if it's windy at all and the Polytunnel is a little bit wobbly, this is going to be secure, which is great. And obviously at the top shelf I'm just going to be putting low level plants. I'm going to be putting seedlings on there, and as you can see, I've got plants under the floor there, like little lovely sort of bowl gardens and things. I'm going to be putting them onto the shelves. So I'm going to show you now what it looks like now and show you what it looks like when I've put the plants on. Now guys, that's what I've done so far. I've put the echeverias and the graptopetalums and the ones I've got in the bowl garden into the shelf going down there. It looks far attractive, especially when you come into the door. And this is actually taking me a lot longer than I thought because I'm an awful ditherer. I'm somebody who keeps putting things on. No, I'm going to move that. I'm going to move that around. I could spend hours rearranging things. I absolutely love it. And it's taken me a little bit longer than I thought. So in this video, I said I was going to actually do the whole of the back, all the cacti as well on the back shelf, but I'm not going to have time because I've got to carry on now doing other things. So I'm just going to concentrate on the black plastic stand today and get this filled up with plants. And that's going to be this is going to be just this video, and I'm going to carry on doing all the plants on the back wall hopefully tomorrow, maybe tomorrow afternoon, if not a couple of days after. So stay tuned for that. But I'm just going to concentrate on this for now. And what I've done, obviously I've put one of my aloes, is Aloe Juvena. As you can see, it's a bit red looking, little bit orangey red, because it gets, believe it or not, here even in Ireland, it got too much sun when I had it on the back there. It was starting to go a little bit red now that the longer days are here. And it goes lovely in dark green and a lovely green healthy colour when I give it a bit more shade. So I've actually moved that from the back table there where it gets practically all day sunshine into this corner so it gets a bit more shade, and that should green up nice. As I say, aloes can take plenty of sun. It's not that they need shade, but there's a difference when they're growing outside in South Africa and they've got fresh air and ventilation than when they're grown in a polytunnel or a greenhouse or indoors where they haven't got the fresh air. They can tend to go a bit red if they get a bit too much sun. So that's going to get sun there, but not all day sunshine. So it should green up again. a little bit there. And then I've got my Kalanchoe Mineriana here. This is an absolutely incredible plant that's been flowering now for a number of weeks. Absolutely beautiful plant. As you can see, lovely peach coloured leaves, and it's a member of the Bryophyllum family that has little baby plantlets growing around the leaves, related to the Mother of Thousands plant. And as you see, the lovely tubular flowers there, that is what you see with Kalanchoes, and that's a lovely spot for it. Again, this tends to go a little bit pale if it gets too much sun. Again, more of a ventilation thing. It's certainly not too much sun here in Ireland. It is definitely a ventilation thing, but there's a great bright spot for it. You'll get plenty of sunshine, but a little bit more shade there. So I've got them two on the floor, which covers that corner nicely. And as I say, this is one of my bowl garden arrangements that I did last year. It's mainly my Graptopetalums and my Echeverias, and a few different types here. This one here is the Graptopetalum Gibiflora metallica, and this is a lovely sort of bit of a plummy sort of colour to it. Not as plummy here as this one, but it does go usually in the summer more of a plummy colour. So that's lovely there. And Echeverias and Graptopetalums are very easy to prune back. It may sound harsh, but when they get very leggy, they do tend to hang down. They make lovely hanging baskets. But when they sort of go a bit too where they're hanging down, a bit top heavy, you literally can just cut them and let them callus over. And the top part you can propagate again, and the bottom part would just regrow loads of new little babies at the base and carry on growing. They're very easy to prune down. I love watching Laura Eubanks videos because she does a load of pruning with it, with the succulents and things like that. I tend to be a little bit, I don't want to cut them back, but sometimes you have to be called to be kind, as they say. For example, this one here is very sort of leggy. I love it like that because I love it wrapped around here and coming out like that. I sort of like them hanging down into like a hanging basket effect. But you can prune them back straight across there, and it would just carry on shooting as normal around there, carry on growing, and then the top part you can propagate again, and it makes them look a lot neater and tidier. But for now, I like them like that. And that's that so far. I just have to think about what to put on the rest of it, but it's just so good to make all this space. I mean, look at it under the table as well. Oh, so exciting, guys. This is one of my big aloes here, and what I'm going to be doing here, as I say, it's just been left to pretty much overwinter all through the winter. And what I do every year in the spring is I remove all the dead leaves. Aloes, as they grow up with the rosette shape, these old leaves here just die back, and I always prefer to remove them. Not only does it look aesthetically nicer, but you often find pests, especially things like mealybug, love to hide under dead leaves. That's often in the places you cannot see them. For example, you pull down and you often see mealybug nests. I'm happy to say I've got no mealybug. Very pleased. I've had it in the past many times, as I've shared many videos on it, but it seems to be pretty good so far this year. And that's just me neatening up the aloe, because this is going to be going on the stand. And I've made a video on how to remove the dead leaves from aloe plants. If you're interested and you're not quite sure how quite to remove them, I sometimes get questions saying, do I just leave these dead leaves on or remove them? And it's really up to you. It's not necessarily going to hurt to leave them. In the wild, there's no one there to remove them. But the difference is in their natural habitats, the fresh air and the wind, and even animals would often remove the dead leaves so they come away on their own with the wind and things like that. But here, when they're stagnant indoors, doesn't really happen. And also, I think it's best personally myself to remove the dead leaves. As I say, it looks aesthetically better, and it helps to prevent pests from hiding in between the nooks and crannies on the dead leaves. And as I say, I've made a video on how to remove the dead leaves from aloes. Do check that out, links up above. And I've also made a video on how to care for aloe plants. If you're interested and you want to know, links will also be up above as well. So do check that video out, guys. And as I say, I'm going to carry on removing the dead leaves on this big fella here. And I'm putting this then on the stand. So I've had this aloe absolutely years. Years. I mean, when I say years, I mean probably 25 years. And actually, when I bought it, it was actually gifted to me by my friend Sylvia. It was her late mother's plant. And it was literally about 3 heads, about this size, and it has grown like this over the years, but it would have been a hell of a lot bigger than this if I didn't keep pruning it. I prune it back, often just take cuttings from it to keep it more compact, because otherwise it would just hang and become very top heavy. And as it's very easy to take cuttings, you literally just cut there. You often see the roots coming sometimes from the bottom. Let it callus over for a few days and stick in soil, and they root really easily. And when I next do this plant, it doesn't really need to be done at the moment, but when I next do it, I will make a video. If you have aloe plants, this particular type of aloe plants anyway, and you want to know how to prune it back and propagate, it's very easy. So I will do that in the future, but as I say, it doesn't really need it yet. But a lot of my aloes do need dividing and separating, so I'll make some videos when I do that in the next few weeks, so stay tuned for that, guys. Now that's the third of the bottom shelf done there, and I've got the big aloe in there in the corner, so it's going to get loads of light there. I've got another little aloe, it's very similar to it, but it's more of a paler green colour. Not quite sure of that one, but that I've got next to it there. And then I've got my bulbine called Escons. This is very beautiful. It's very similar in appearance to an aloe, and people often think when they see this plant that it's an aloe. It is actually a bulbine, and it has lovely, beautiful little flowers on it in the summer. It's coming into loads of new growth, and this is a good spot for it here as well, because it's going to get plenty of light, but a little bit more shade being under the table a little bit. Last year went a little bit straw coloured because it got too much sun, and it's greened up over the winter, so I think that's going to be a much better spot for it. So there you go, that's so far. And then what I'm going to be doing here at the top is putting up the little, I think I'm going to use the little seedlings here that I've got here, a mixture of young little seedlings that are a couple of years old. So I'm going to be putting them onto the top shelf, so I haven't got to worry about the height. And as I say, these hanging baskets, the next few weeks are going to be going back out into the yard on the hanging basket stand once the chance of frost has gone. So I'm going to now do the top shelf, but so far so good. Now that's the plant stand there, the plastic plants, and all completed, guys, and I'm very happy with it. And we have here, as I say, got aloe at the back and Kalanchoe Marneriana, and this is my Kalanchoe Blossfeldiana, all with an abundance of different blooms. We've got a few different types of Blossfeldianas in here. We've got red, we've got pink, we've got white, we've got yellow, we've got orange. So they're all going to be flowering around the same time. It's going to make a beautiful display there. And then at the bottom here, I have a Kalanchoe tubiflora, commonly known as one of the mother of thousands plants as well. Also one of the bryophyllums, as I say, the ones that have little babies on the leaves like that. Different one again. This is the tubiflora, and I have a few different types of Kalanchoes there. I have tubiflora and Degremontiana and tubiflora times Degremontiana. As you see there, all the different types of leaves on them, but they all have the little babies growing along the edges. And this one was a rescue that my friend at college gave me. It was her plant she's had a long time, and she said, "Lynn, could you look after it?" And I said, "Yep, I put it in my polytunnel and I'm going to take good care of it for you." So this is lovely. It's got loads of babies as well. And what I've done is Hansi tied it up here. He's got some ties. He's tied it to the stand here, so it means this plant will be able to go all the way up here, and it's not going to fall over or anything. It's supported here because the stems are quite delicate, and it means that it's going to get support as it grows along here all the way up. And they have lovely sort of orangey flowers on them in the flower as well. Very exciting. And here I have my Echeveria graptopetalum and a few mixture of different types of varieties there, all in this bowl garden arrangement here, so that's going to look nice. And then at the top I have my little cactus seedlings, and I have a mixture of a few different types. A few that I've been growing from back in 2015 up until last year. Now these are Mammillaris spinosimas. That was 2017. Actually, it was 2 years ago I sowed these, and they're probably going to need to be potted on in the next few months anyway, during the summer. This is Cactus studensis, and I sown them in June 2016, and these are definitely ready to be potted up into little pots now. And here is we've got Lobivias, and we've got Corypanthas. These I sowed in 2015. They are very slow growing, but these are going to be definitely ready now to be potted on into their own little individual pots. And here I have a mixture of different types of apunchas. These I sowed last year, and they as well growing really well, so they're going to be potted on as well in the summer. So very exciting. As I say, they're going to get loads of light there, and I'm quite pleased with how this plant stand looks. And what I could be doing the next couple of days is rearranging well, mainly just tidying up. I can't really rearrange too much on this back wall because we've got plants inside the house we're going to be bringing out for the spring and summer, and we can't really bring them out yet because it's still a little bit chilly for a lot of the ones that are not cold hardy at all, that, you know, they need a minimum of 10 degrees C, and we keep this polytunnel at a minimum of 5. So as soon as the chance of the really cold weather has gone, hopefully the next month, they'll be bringing a few more in from the house into the polytunnel. Lots more room now anyway, as you can see. But what I'm going to be doing is just giving this table a bit of a tidy up. We've got a shelf, we have like a plank of wood we're going to be putting on the back there with a couple of pots of turns, so it's going to give a bit of height. Got a bit of an idea how we're going to do it. I'm going to get Hansi to help me because it'd be easier with us, with both our pairs of arms. But look how much space I've made, guys. All this space now in the polytunnel, so it's going to give us so much more room to work with the plants and everything. Really, really pleased, have to say. So look at that. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks so much for watching and all your support. It means a lot. And if you want to know how to grow, a bit more about how to grow cacti and succulents if you're new to the hobby, do check out my website, desertplantsofavalon.com, and go and have a look on there. Go onto the growing tips and hover your mouse over the growing tips, and it will come down with a drop down bar with lots of different sections on how to care for cacti and succulents. And guys, I want to send you loads of love, heaps of happiness, and tons of plant power. As always, across the emerald isle. And until the next video, bye.